Hello and welcome to this special program marking the 20th anniversary of the ratification of the National Action Charter of the Kingdom of Bahrain. Throughout the previous years, Bahrain has accomplished various distinguished achievements with constant remarkable gains. It has adopted democracy, which became an essential part of the policies of its successive rulers for decades. The establishment of the Shura Council in the 1930s of the last century was the first democratic experience in Bahrain under the reign of late Sheikh Isa bin Ali Al Khalifa, which was considered an important stage of the history of Bahrain. When His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa ascended the throne in 1999, the kingdom has entered a new era of reforms with comprehensive and sustainable development in many fields. The reform project of His Majesty the King, which was launched in 2001, reshaped the kingdom's strategy in developing state institutions and national legislation. In today's special coverage, we will shed light on national achievements in various sectors right after this.
إنه يوم ميثاقنا الوطني المجيد، يوم توافق شعب البحرين على إقراره بقالبية منقطعة النظير. لقد تمكنا جميعا على مدى أكثر من عقد من تحقيق العديد من الإنجازات، والكثير قادم بعون الله، مع قناعتنا في استمرار الإصلاح الشامل الذي بدأناه معا وسنكمله معا بعون من الله نحو بناء مستقبل أفضل لبلدنا ولجميع المواطنين. حفظ الله البحرين وأدام عليها نعمة الأمن والاستقرار والرخاء، وعلى الله الاتكال، وكل عام وأنتم بخير.
The National Action Charter, which was approved by 98.4% of the people of Bahrain, is a great step towards modernization and development that covered human, political, religious and social aspects. After the ratification, the National Assembly was formed, consisting of two chambers, the Shura Council and the Council of Representatives, which perform their roles with constant coordination and effective collaboration. With its 40 appointed members, the Shura Council has played a pivotal role over the previous years in terms of maintaining the successful national democratic environment and advanced political action in the kingdom. And to know more about the Shura Council's role as well as its local and international contribution, we would like to welcome the Shura Council member, Mr. Ahmad الحداد. Mr. Ahmed, thank you very much for joining us here
Thank
today.
you for hosting me today. At the outset, I would like to present my warm greetings to His Majesty the King and His Highness the Crown Prince and the Prime Ministers and the people of Bahrain on the 20th anniversary of the approval of the Charter by Bahraini people.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Would you like to add to that, or should I
Yes,
dig
please.
in deeper?
Well, let me say one thing here. I think His Majesty the King, when he came to power, March 1999, he had a clear vision for the future political situation in Bahrain. And since we have started with the Action Charter, which was approved, as the report had said, by 98.4% by the people of Bahrain.
Yes.
And it was a great success for Bahrainis as a whole. And I want to point one thing here. Maybe a lot of people do not know about the background of the approval of this charter. The drafting committee, when they finished from their works, they proposed to His Majesty the King that this charter shall be agreed upon by the eminent personalities of Bahrain. And then we can go ahead. His Majesty declined this idea, and he insisted that it should be put to the people regarding the approval, and there was referendums, and it was passed, as you said, by the percentage you have mentioned in your report. I think this kind of step gave the charter credibility, morally, politically as well, and enhanced the will of the people by this gesture. And this here I would like to really thank His Majesty the King for this step. It was a challenge for everybody, and he accepted the challenge, and the people of Bahrain supported him overwhelmingly.
Yes.
And this is a great achievement for Bahrain as a whole.
Indeed, indeed. Mr. Ahmed, it is known that the Kingdom of Bahrain has a very rich democratic experience, of course, that was witnessed constant progress throughout the years. Now, can you tell us about the stages of development witnessed by the legislative work and how it paved the way towards today's political prosperity?
You know, the base for all this, the foundation for all this is the National Action Charter of 2001, February 14-15,
yes,
which was approved by the people. It has contained all the elements for the democratic developments in Bahrain. And from there we have started the political process in the country. You know, Bahrain policy based on 3 factors, as mentioned by His Excellency the Foreign Ministers. We had a meeting a week ago with him, and this has been approved by His Majesty the King. On 3 factors. One is peace, second, human rights, and third, sustainable development. And if we read the whole content of the charter, it involves, it embodies all these factors.
yes,
And also, you know, the very important things the King has started with when the charter was approved by the people is the creation of the lower house of the parliament. 2002, there was election for the lower house, and was inaugurated. And from here, we have started the process of democracy in the country. Of course, the parliament composed of 2 houses. The upper one, the Shura Council, and the lower one is the House of Representatives. And this also opened the door to a lot of developments, being economic, political, social, educational, etc. And from here we have put the first step towards continuing a process. You know, the developments, democratic development in Bahrain, it's a continuous, it's not static. It will be with us, and all of us are working for the best for the citizen of Bahrain. The second point is this, you know, beside the creation of the parliament, the House of Representatives, also there are a lot of you know, procedures and steps being taken. For instance, the separation of the 3 powers, the legislative, executive, and the judicial. So each of them, as per Bahrain Constitution, work in certain fields, but at the end, they all work for the interests of the country as a whole. We have also the Supreme Council of Women, which was created because of the charter. And this council really played and still playing a very important role in enhancing the welfare of Bahraini women on all fields. And I would like to seize this occasion to thank Her Royal Highness Sheikh Sabicha for all the efforts she is doing to uplift the conditions of Bahraini women. We really appreciate what they do. We have been invited so many times to the council, and we participated in a lot of discussion. And open, they listen to us,
Yes.
they try to improve the welfare and the condition of the women, they try to support them, and this is really a particular events and feature of Bahrain's women in this regard.
Indeed.
Besides also, we have a lot of human rights institution which was created. For instance, Bahrain Institute for Human Rights, which has played very important role in awareness of Bahraini people and also international opinion of the situation of human rights in the country. And this has been a plus point for Bahrain.
Yes.
Also, we have the NGOs, which plays very important role in educating the people in democratic developments in the country. These are very important elements. We have also the Bahrain Institute for Political Development, which plays very important role in educating the Bahraini public opinions regarding the democratic developments in the country. Of course, if we come to the House of Representatives, they also play a very important role in having legislatures, laws, draft laws that enhance the welfare of the people, the right of the people of Bahrain. And as you said, Shura Council is part and parcel of the system. We both, at both houses, work together, coordinate our policies, work with the governments, work with the ministries, work with the NGOs, so as to come to a kind of democratic developments in the country, which is sustainable, which can protect the welfare of the citizens of Bahrain.
Indeed. Now, as you mentioned, they all complete each other, of course. And the National Action Charter, tell us, how did it consolidate Bahrain's legislative work?
You know, from there, as I said, we have started with the House of Representatives.
Yes.
And also the the Shura Council. So there are a lot of laws which was enacted by both houses that contributed to the legislatures that benefits the people of Bahrain. Let me cite one important law. The Family Unified Laws, it was passed 2009 for the Sunni section, but the Shia Jafri section was not passed because of certain circumstances at that time. So a big portion of the society, women, were left out. 2017, it was an initiative by the Legislative and Law Committee of the Shura Council, starting the draft proposal for this law, which contains as well the Jafari section of the law.
Okay.
It was a challenge for everybody. The king played very important role by appointing a committee of experts so as to find a common stand that everybody will agree to. By July 2017, it was passed. After it was by the House of Representatives, passed by the Shura Council. And the king was very happy, and they celebrated this event with all happiness and gratitude to everybody. And this is really helped to enhance the other sections of the society, the women's. And we had now a complete, clear law that serve the women of Bahrain and the families of Bahrain.
That is amazing.
So we actually, both houses, coordinate, as I said, our position vis-a-vis a lot of draft laws, a lot of policies, so as to come with laws that will help and enhance the social, political, economic, educative objectives of the people of Bahrain. This is internally. We also, both of the houses, play a very important role in international arena. When we are invited to participate in conferences or parliamentarian meetings, we always coordinate our position as one team. We don't say that we are from Shura or from the House of... We work together. If we have certain concern vis-a-vis the laws that will help Bahrain, we always coordinate our position as a team, work with the other countries also to present our issues, Bahrain issue in these fields. And we have a lot of respect from the other side, from the international teams who come and participate in these meetings. So constantly we are working together, both the houses, and if there is an issue, we always come out and issue certain statement in coordinating with each other. And this is really helping the developments of the democratic process in the country. And we really, at the Shura Council, we are very happy and thankful to our brothers at the House of Representatives for their cooperation, and always they extend their help and assistance, and vice versa.
Indeed. Mr. Ahmed, we know that the Shura Council's committees are the pillars of the legislative work. Now, can you give us an overview or a brief idea about these committees and how their performance is integrated to serve the unified goals of the Council?
You know, we have 8 committees at the Council, at the Shura Councils, and they are very important committees. And all these committees, when they have draft laws, either from the government or from certain individuals, or amendments, or certain members of the Shura Councils, as per the Constitution, 15 members of the Shura Council can propose amendments and also have draft laws, 1 or 5 or 6, up to that numbers. So we always, as members of the committees, coordinate our position within the Shura Council. Most of the laws or draft laws or proposal comes first to the Legislative and Law Commission to study this law and to see whether it goes with the articles of the Bahrain Constitution or not. So if we approve it, then it goes to other committees, like service committees, which plays very important role. And then we have amenities committee also. We have a foreign affairs committee, and we have human rights committee, we have youth committee, and we have women and child committee. So all together, we always, and there is one thing also, Sarah, I want to tell you. It's very interesting. If I am a member of legislative committee, but there are certain issues that concern me, I can go to the service committee or foreign affairs committee or any committee of the House to express my voice and my position vis-a-vis certain draft laws. And this is really, you know, giving us at the Shura Council a kind of movement that we can explain our positions, our opinions. So when it comes to the main session, when the Shura Council holds its main session and these laws come, then we have a clear picture, a clear position. And this is something, you know, we are very happy, very proud of.
That's good. We are very proud of the Shura Council as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, in performing its role, the Shura Council, of course, collaborates with several authorities and institutions. How do you value such cooperation, and how does it contribute positively to achieve the aspired goals?
You know, this is a very important question you raised. And I think, and I would like to thank a lot of ministers of the government who usually take their time to attend the committees' meetings to express the government position vis-a-vis certain laws and issues. They come, they take all the trouble, they come and they give their opinions, they enter kind of dialogue with the members of the committee, express their differences, their agreements, and this shows that those ministers are very serious about contributing to the development of the democratic process in Bahrain. It's not only the ministers, also the officials, senior, junior officials. They are there at the committees. There are certain questions which were posed by the members of the committees, and they answered them in a very clear way, and that helped the process of democratic development in the country. Yes. Also, it doesn't end here. This is the committees. Okay. Then we go to the main session of the Shura Council. A lot of ministers, they come personally. Unfortunately, now with the Corona-19, we have virtual meeting. But still, they participate, they give their opinions, they answer the questions of the member of the Shura Councils, and we are very glad to have this kind of cooperation, because at the end, we all work for the interest of the country, for the interest of the people of Bahrain, and also to protect the right and the interests of the residents who contribute to the well-being, the economic development of Bahrain for years and years.
Yes. Now, you've mentioned COVID-19, of course. It is inevitable to dig deeper into that. Now, Bahrain society and its various institutions, of course, have been affected with COVID-19, and a lot of procedures and safety measures have been taken. Now, the safety, of course, of people and sustainable growth of sectors is definitely very important. Can you tell us about the Shura Council's contribution and role in this regard?
Well, you know, the safety of everybody is important for the Shura Council's chairman and also the secretariats. From the very start, Sarah, we had tests for the COVID-19. Up to now, we had 5 times tests. The last one is last week. The concerned authorities at the council are very aware of the safety of the members and the staff of the security, and this is their obligation and duty, as they said, to protect everybody. That is why we have, we were the Legislative and Law Committee at the Shura Council. I am a member of that committee. We were the first in the country to start virtual meeting because of COVID-19 on 18th of March 2020. Then on 12th April, the Shura Council started the process of virtual meetings because of this virus. So as to be safe, that everybody is okay, not to have, you know, kind of panic, because you don't know what's going to happen once you have closed meeting or open meetings. And we were very successful. And this is very important for everybody. During 2020, the Shura Council had 17 virtual sessions. Now we are 2021. Every month we have 4 sessions, and if you include all these sessions, it will be over 30 or 28 sessions. So we are very aware, and also during the virtual meeting, we have not felt that anything has changed. Everybody is given opportunity. Everybody is participating, and also there is one good thing. Instead of taking your car and go, you reduce the environment pollution. You don't have traffic problems, and this also contributes, and it's continuing. So really, we are.
So it is actually more efficient.
Absolutely, and they keep calling us. The staff of the Shura Council. Have you gone for the test? you know, they let you feel that they care about you. They
Yes.
care about your health. They
Yes.
care about everybody,
Which is
actually,
very
in
important.
Bahrain. And it's very important. And I would like to seize this opportunity to thank His Excellency Mr. Ali Saleh, the chairman of the Council, because he is the dynamo behind this all. And of course, the staffs that support him.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you very much for that. Now, before we end this, I want to go and tackle the emergence of new means of communication, such as social media. Of course, it facilitated the fast interaction between the legislative branch and citizens, of course. And how do you value the effectiveness of such approach, especially during the current health circumstances?
You know, Sarah, COVID-19 has so many shortcomings, being economic, political, social, and business-wide. But also, it has hidden benefits. One of those benefits, Sarah, is the virtual meeting.
Yes.
This allows a lot of institutions in Bahrain to interact, to discuss things. You know, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had 8 workshop session for preparing the Bahrain National Plan for Human Rights. And that allows more than 400 participants to take place. The Foreign Minister, we had a meeting with him last week, he mentioned, had we not had this COVID-19, we would have never had this big numbers, and it would have cost a lot of money and arrangement. So this is one hidden benefit of, also a lot of institution benefit financially. You know, like Netflix, for instance. You see how billions of dollars they gain. You have the iPads, computers, companies. It's booming. You know, there are good, and also, as I said, environmental wise, it also helped to reduce the, like, take for instance India. India, Delhi is the worst, second worst country, city pollution in the world. When COVID-19 came March, they closed the whole city. You know, 80% of the pollution came down. And it benefits everybody.
Exactly.
So there are good things and bad things. And we look forward, inshallah, to finish with this disease, with this virus. And we look forward that life will be coming normal once again, inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Mr. Ahmed, before we end this very interesting conversation, is there anything else that you would like to add to our viewers?
Well, I would like to say that His Majesty the King has taken courageous step for the welfare of the people of Bahrain. Bahrain today, we are all proud in Bahrain today. It's not only internally. Let me tell you one thing also, on international level, with all the democratic developments and the initiative of His Majesty the King, Bahrain have played a very important role on international level. Let me cite 2 examples. 2006, Bahrain presided over the General Assembly, United Nations General Assembly. 2 things important happens that year. One is the creation of Human Rights Council, 2006, and Bahrain was member of that council from 2006 to 2007 because it was the initiative. So every member was allowed, the 43 members were allowed to have only 1 year tenure. Then they have to go out. Then in 2009, 2011, Bahrain was re-elected to the United Nations Human Rights Council, which is based in Geneva. Again, 2019, up to 2021 December, Bahrain for the 3rd time was also elected to this chamber. So this shows that the King initiative was appreciated by the international community, and Bahrain was rewarded for being member 3 times. The second issue here, during Bahrain presidency, 2016, the International Convention on Disabled Persons was passed when Bahrain presiding over this General Assembly meetings. And this was a great achievement for humanity, because those with special needs, they need our help, our assistance, our understanding. And with that, with the United Nations General Assembly passing of that agreement, convention, help these people who are really in dire needs.
Well, that is truly amazing.
Yes, yes.
Shura Council Member, of course, Ahmed Al-Haddad. This is all we have time for here today. Thank you very much for being with us.
Can I say one more?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I would like to seize this opportunity as well to thank Bahrain TV, both Arabic and international. It was called 55 channels, English channel, for hosting such meetings, because you contribute knowingly or unknowingly with the development of the political, the democratic process in the country. When you host such kind of a meeting, you educate everybody, the citizens, the foreign community, and we really need such kind of meeting, so as we can show, we can express to the people how Bahrain is very much developed on all sectors. And we are really proud. And as Bahrainis, we always work together, and we wish goodness and stability and security for everybody on this very occasion. Inshallah. And I thank you once again for hosting me.
Thank you. Actually, thank you very much for this very informative and interesting conversation, Mr. Ahmed Al-Haddad.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, do stay tuned. We will be back right after this.